Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, October 25th. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type can be risky. It should only be attempted with with funds that you can afford to lose, i.e. risk capital. All right. All right, the YM just stopped out of a long and entered a short. We got something over a minute to go before our start time. So we will see where that ends up. That will be, for the moment, a get in sync. Soybeans has a get in sync short on the table. Less than a minute to go. Crude oil. Nice move this morning. This short trade had gone just a little too far, too fast to catch. So we get the long at 907.36. That triggers in somewhere around 908.30 and just basically makes a strong upward move. Targets 1 and 2, 21 and 33 ticks, and trails all the way up to 84.79 from the entry at 84.06. 73 ticks on the trailer, but that is not a part of the normal nominal trade plan. All right, the market is open. All right, we have the short. You should be in the short, and that is a stop and reverse at, looks like 86, so it'd be 88, which would be the full stop out. Rustled too far, and we had a long on soybeans that didn't become valid until after we'd gone through it, and it touched target 1. So we just went long at the session high. I would push that a couple of ticks higher. I'd push that to 77.75. Plenty of room to maintain our minimum target. Ooh, that's not nice. So 31.467 for the reversal. It was only, that might have been avoidable. Hopefully that was avoidable. Otherwise it was a full stop out. And the Russell giving us a long trade that's 10 seconds to the bar close, so it should be in that. And that's a break-even trade. Unleaded down here. Again, the long too fast. The short set up before our start time. But there is our start time right there. Actually on that bar. Came up, and should be in that trade. That goes for either target 1 or target 2, depending on which you're trading. 49 or 75 ticks, and then goes to a stop at 49.41. Okay, so we're in another long if you got the short on the YM. If not, you're still in the yellow trade if you avoided the short. And that actually hit money management and target 1 for both trades. Target 2 for the SMA trade. Looks like it hit it on the nose. 31. Yep, and we hit a high of 31, so we can pick up the trailer, and it stopped out. Just spiked down to the stop at 507. And it looks like both of those are still needing another trade, whether you avoided the short or not. So one and done on unleaded, one and done on crude. And let's check in with the micro NQ. All right, we just hit our start time, and that was in a trade that's gone way too far to catch. Soybeans coming back to test the EMAs. That is a filtered short trade, filtered by the hybrid mode because the trend indicator is blue, and that's a short, so the short is filtered out when the trend indicator is blue for a stop and reverse. And if it weren't filtered because if you make the stop and reverse adjustment, it becomes a squeeze zone trade. So I would definitely stay away from that short. All right, short on the micro NQ. Lots of time to get in that. Another short, a short for the YM here. This looks like it might get us, if we can get a target, that'll probably get us positive if we avoided the pink short. There's money management. Stop comes to 512. Working to push down through the 50 EMA on the YM. Soybeans still in the long. And stopping out for just a few ticks at 511. Just 2 ticks on the YM. It's either trade 3 or trade 5. And MNQ with a full stop out and reversing to long. I would say at 57.75. Yeah, that would be two ticks above the entry, but that's also the natural stop for the short trade. And that stops out. So 2 quick losses on the MNQ. All right, while we're watching, okay, we got the break even. We got have to break down the bars on that to see if we're able to able to trade that. But picking up a target 3 and a small trailer on the Russell. Pound Aussie this morning. Had a trade set up 8:10 this morning. Meandered about the entry and gave us a chance to get in sync with that before starting off on a strong up move, hitting all 4 targets and trailing all the way up to 79.59 from the entry at 79.07. 57 pips on the trailer. 16, 26, 36, and 45 on the targets. So a nice morning on the Pound Aussie. New short for the MNQ. Sorry about that. I had the chat box covered up. Good morning, Miles, Pamela. Bob. And my apologies if I butcher the pronunciation of this, but Jovine. And don't know whether that's pronounced as a hard or a soft G. All right, there's another win on the Russell and a third stop out on the MNQ to close out the session. MNQ just getting into this back and forth and just knocks us out of the session this morning. Getting the long now after the session is over. All right, the YM, this is a trade I have turned on that Troy doesn't usually turn on, but this is the trade off of the 200 EMA. Same parameters as for the 50 EMA or the 20. This is, again, a part of the diamond level package. Right. Russell still trying to work its way up. Looks like it hit target 4 on that trade. And trailing, I believe it's the 10 EMA. Yeah, 10 EMA. Soybeans just kind of stuck just above the, and now another filtered short. Now then, let's see. Trend indicator is still against it, but that's filtered both by the trend indicator and it looks like the squeeze zone. And the YM stopping out of that trade. So that's 4 or 6, depending on whether or not you avoided the short back here. That would end the session. If you were trading that and did not avoid the short. All right. And the Russell continuing upward. And now the YM's headed up. Unfortunately, just barely stopped out of that long trade. Just not quite stopped, not quite far enough off of the 200 was all that it was. Soybean still in its long. From right here, I would, as I said when I looked at that, I would have pushed this entry up to 775 to 77.75. And having just gotten about 3 ticks above that, Crude with a good short trade and another good long trade. So Crude hitting on all cylinders this morning. Well, we're at the point of just kind of watching now, waiting for our 10 a.m. session. All right, soybeans setting a new session high. So can we get to our money management at 80.75? Target 1 and money management. Russell trailing at 77.4 from an entry at 70.1. So 7.3 points on that trailer. And the MNQ also with a successful long after opening with 3 losses. The 3 losses actually ended our session, so not in that trade, unfortunately. All right. 80.4 for the Russell. Stop. 604 even for the micro NQ stop on the trade we're just watching. And the Russell, the MNQ, and the YM all setting new session highs. The MNQ and the Micro Russell both just plowing through the session highs. The YM just having hit it in the last few minutes, just pushing it up now to 631,610. Crude showing it looks like it just triggered into the short, just barely. Stopped out of long and triggered short. 619 for the MNQ stop, 81.4 for the Russell stop. 11.3 points now for the Russell trade. Okay, Russell stopped out at 81.4 and the MNQ at 619 even. Ouch. The YM with a short that goes for a full loss. Crude short not faring very well either. Watching that trade, but not participating. And the Russell with another long trade that looks like it may have done a quick stop out on us. Yeah, chances are we got into that and it stopped us out. So that's loss number one on the Russell. Looks like we're in enough. The MNQ showing us another long to be watched. Five minutes to the 10 a.m. crude session. No, it's spotlight on the 14 tick or 14 tick range bar, 14 point momentum bar, Neil, depending on your platform. Congratulations, William. Yeah, that may be that in the NQ. Yeah, so that would be a 14 point momentum bar for you, Neil. And that's the chart that Troy and I both show in the trade room on Spotlight. It's no, the offset would be for a Renko, for a custom Renko. For the momentum bar, that's a type of range bar, so there's not an offset with it. It means it just the momentum bar means it takes one tick beyond the the bar's range to close the bar and open the next one. So there isn't an offset in that. The offset would come if you're using the custom Renko bars. The only place I'm using the custom Renko bars is on the Micro Russell and the Micro NQ. Those are both I'm using Unirenko on NinjaTrader, but that would be your custom Renko on TradeStation, and those are both catapult charts. Yeah, you can see the offset in the Renko bars here versus how the momentum bars look. They're the only reason that you get some overlap there is because you get some pullbacks and that kind of thing. So the price varies. But if it's going straight up, you notice it's just one tick between one bar and the next. But each bar is a total of 14 ticks or 14 points in your case. 1 point being one tick on the YM. right. And just about to start the 10 a.m. crude session. That would be a get in sync. Actually, that's not even a get in sync. That's a valid short at the, well, yeah, well, no, looks like we did get two closes above. So the short has canceled. So we're looking for a new trade on crude. The M&Q, let's just take a look at it. The stop offset is 8, so 2 points. On that trade plan. And then we're trailing the we are still trailing the 14 on that one. So your normal trade setup on this 12-point bar. Okay, I'm showing this blue. This is the line that it's trailing, and that's a 14 EMA. But I'll go ahead and go into the calculator and look at that. Yeah, trail EMA 14 right here, D05. Okay, and we got a long trade that got away from me there. 85.61 hit targets 1. Well, target 1 is too small. It's only 7 ticks. So target 2, 12 and 18, 30 ticks, and a quick small trade gets us out and done. Did that answer your question, William? Actually, the 14 EMA is the default trailer on Catapult for the MNQ. Actually, I think for any of the Catapult trades, we trail a different line on the M2K. Let's see what the offset on that is. Exactly. The cat lines are sure of those. I believe 2 and 6 is right, and the offset is 6 ticks. Yeah, cat lines are 2 and 6, and the 14 is the EMA for the EMA filter. Neil, are you looking at Spotlight or are you looking at Catapult? Because what I've got showing is if, oh, wait a minute, that's a That's a typo in the note. I see what you're looking at. Notice I have 14 range up here. That's what it actually is. That's what you call a fat finger typo. That's what it should be. Yeah, well, it's a 14 tick range on NinjaTrader, or a 14 momentum bar, which is a 14 point momentum bar, which is also 14 ticks for TradeStation. TradeStation denominates their ranges by price movement versus NinjaTrader, which denominates by tick movement. So that's where a little bit of the confusion comes in. Like when I talk about the MNQ, we're talking about a 12 point bar, which is a 48 tick. But the YM is 1 point per tick, so it actually is the simplest of all of them. No, the range on the YM would still be 14, because it's 14 points is the same as 14 ticks. Now, if you're talking the Russell, it would be 1.4 versus for a 14 tick range, because the Russell is at 1 point is 10 ticks. So that's where some of the confusion going from NinjaTrader to TradeStation comes in. Is TradeStation determines the ranges by price movement, or not tick movement. So you have to look at how many ticks to a point and so forth to do your translations. MNQ soybeans are both 4 ticks to a point. Pound Aussie is, for what we do, is actually 10 ticks to a pip. So in this case, I'm looking at 80 range, which would be a 0.008 momentum bar on TradeStation. So that's just kind of how you have to. So it's an 80 tick range, or an 8 pip range bar. So 0.0008 would give you 8 pips. But because I'm working with ticks on NinjaTrader, it's 80 ticks to get that same 8 pips. I don't have a catapult plan offhand on the YM. That I have on here. I'm not sure if I've got. I'm still having some problems with access on the member site for me. Whoops, I got the wrong one, the wrong place. Okay. Let's see what the, yeah, I've got it here. There are a whole bunch of catapult plans for the YM. 5-minute charts. Those look like they're all 5-minute charts. So that looks like those were all. Yeah, let's see if we got. Yeah, and those are both time-based charts too. So it doesn't look like we've got a custom Renko for the YM. The YM actually was released before we started doing much with the custom Renkos. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Is what to do with catapults on YM. I would say probably something kind of similar. To the 1.5 point bar. So maybe either 1.5 point, half point offset, or well, 15 tick. And I'd probably go a little bit bigger than that. I don't know. Well, no, yeah, I'd go. Yeah, I would probably go a little bigger than that. Something like about 20. Yeah, maybe 24.8, 24, 24 tick bar, 8 tick offset, or either 6 tick offset. So 1/3 or 1/4 offset with like a 20, somewhere between a 20 to 24 tick bar is probably about right. But test it. That's it's a good idea. But go through the testing and see if it works. Put it up on the sniff test. Okay. Let's go with the 6. And Tori's been doing a lot of 25. That's what a 24 tick bar would look with a 6 tick offset would look like. And I did 4 tick entry offset, 2 tick stop offset. So at 9:30, question is that too fast? Okay, that looks like it probably triggered in. That looks pretty decent. Now take that on a month-by-month basis and just test it a little bit for back 2 or 3 months, or maybe longer than that. Try to get 100 to 125 trade in your particular start time. Well, I would probably suggest an 8:30 Central start time. With market open would be your ideal. So that would be 9:30 Eastern, which is what the clock that I'm on. Well, it looks to me like there are enough trades there, and there are definitely some relative. There's a loss, but there's going to be losses, but primarily successful trades. Some break even, some solid winners. One possibility. Other questions? Let's see, what did soybeans do? Yeah, soybeans finally hit target 1. Then trailed up, halfway to target 1. So 1 and done on soybeans. It just took a while to work out. Soybeans not moving real fast, not moving a whole lot this morning. Not pushing up through setting session highs. Things getting a little bit noisier now for the Russell and for the MNQ. Other questions? Yeah, the 2 and 6 cat lines are what sets up the trade, William. But typically the catapult trails one of the EMAs. The Russell, it's the 10 EMA with fairly good offset. Let's take a look and see what that one is. The Russell and the MNQ both are custom plans. Yeah, trailing the 10. Okay, 6 tick offset on the Russell as well, so pretty similar. But that YM chart was pretty much defaults. I think the only things that changed were the entry offset and the stop offset. Okay, Neil, did that help? All right, looks like we're down to about 5 people now with us. So I'm going to, and we've pretty well exhausted the charts that we've got there. Unless there are other questions, I'm going to call it a morning, folks. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow, 9:30 for our regular session. Crude oil inventory report tomorrow at 10:30. You are most welcome, Pamela. You have a good afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Or actually may see you in about an hour and a half in the CEO Trader Mastermind. Everyone have a good one. You too, William.